Originally, this video was going to be me talking about Kinji Hakari, like his whole personality, his backstory, and stuff like that, while also talking about what his cursed ability is and what his domain expansion could be. But then in the middle of it, I started like as I go through, the video is already like kind of long, and I kind of want to keep it short, so it's gonna like just focus on just his abilities, what they could be, and like give some examples like why I think it could be that. So, I don't know. Maybe like later on in the future when we get some more information about him, and if you guys want to like have a full like a video talking about what like Kenji is as a person, like all that stuff, like a whole background check on him, then we could. And if you want it, then give this video 10 likes, and then I'll do a background video on Kenji Akari. But anyway, let's talk about what his abilities are. So, in the recent chapter of Jujutsu Kaisen, chapter 182, he's fighting against Charles Bernard, who is I believe is a stand-in for Gege. Like he's like a representation of Gege, if not like Gege, then just like mangaka in general. So those two are fighting, and the last chapter we get is Hakari using domain expansion, idle, death, gamble, or the translated version, quote unquote, that I've seen other people use, restless gambler. Which I like that. Like I like that more than idle death gambler. Like I like restless gambler more because it gives us more hint and like information about what his abilities like are. With the name of the domain expansion alone, we know that his abilities are just based on gambling, but we have more evidence that leans towards it, and one of them is involving the current chapter. So Akari's a fight against Charles Bernard. Charles points out that Hakari's like cursed energy. It feels rough and like it feels rough and it's like sandpaper. And what else feels like sandpaper or has a sandpaper like skin? A shark. And now what? Now the word shark comes off. Obviously, you think of the creature, but you know what else is a shark? A loan shark. And you want to know what a loan shark is? A loan shark is someone who charges like a lot of money under illegal conditions, and they result to like threats of violence to collect debts from people. We also know Hakari is a gambler himself because he also runs a fight club called the Godchinko Fight Club, which is an underground like an abandoned building where people like go to the Jujutsu sorcerers go fight at, and it's located in Toshigi, which is during the perfect preparation arc before the calling games. And also Hakari has this thing called fever, and he believes that people are desperate to change their life, and the easiest way of directing their fever is through gambling. Another good example that he is a gambler himself is that in his debut chapter of 153, when he was watching Yuji and Panda fight, and then Yuji being the winner, he says he gets like a feeling from this, and he says, "I haven't been this on edge since the old days of my old girlfriend and maxed out credit cards." Another great example is that he talks to Yuji about how life is a gamble. Everyone loves gambling, and what they hate is losing and like going into ruin, and that he loves the fever of it, and how fever is gamble and gamble is his life. And he wants to control the whole country's fever by using this fight club. Now let's talk about abilities itself. Now, while we do not know about his innate ability, we do know he's able to summon two levitating doors to like trap his opponents in it, because he does use this technique against Yuji. Now, what I don't know if this has to do with the gambling at all whatsoever. We don't know. Again, we don't have much information, so the only thing we can really guess upon is what his technique, his like domain expansion could be, and maybe we could like lead on to see like what his innate ability is. Now the title is called Idle Death Gambler, like that's what his ability is called. So from what's the name of it alone, and from what we can assume, it has to do with being stationary, as in not moving, and like it has to do with not moving. An example, let's say this, he activates his cursed ability. Now, what it could mean is that whoever makes the first move first will be the one to like die, and it's all based, and it's kind of like a gamble, really. So Hakari could be gambling on who's gonna make the first move, or more or less, what is gonna be the first move. Let's say like, oh, he activates domain expansion. Now he's betting that Hakari will strike first, and let's say he doesn't strike first, but Charles does. Then therefore, he like what? Yeah, Hakari dies or loses. We don't really know. We don't really know, but assuming again from the title, it has to do with gambling. So maybe it could be was like whoever makes the first move. It's like gonna be like deaths for one guy or the other, or maybe even both. Because again, with domain expansion, it's a guaranteed hit, and just like all domain expansions, due to like the guaranteed like hits effect, Charles like now knows about Hakari's domain and his technique rules, like technique ability rules and stuff like that, because domain expansions, like when you activate them, your opponent now knows like what it is and like the rules and stuff to it. So with Hakari's, it could be a very, very strict rules that Charles will have to follow, or else he will like get that guaranteed hit and died. Now, in most cases, it's like a guaranteed hit always with domain expansion towards the opponent, or so it seems. But in this situation, maybe this time, like it could be like a guaranteed hit to to the user also, because again, since like Hakari is a gambler person, he has a gambler domain expansion. If he were to lose, then that guaranteed hit might backfire and either critically injure or even kill him in the process. And if that's the case, that's going to be the first time we've ever seen a domain expansion like backfire, which I doubt we will see. Like maybe, who knows, maybe we will not see it backfire, maybe it will backfire, but it won't kill him, but it will have a major consequence to him. Also, another thing I want to point out that is very much important as to why we haven't seen Hakari's like other abilities before the domain expansion is because in a recent interview that Gege did, they point out how his domain, well not his domain, but his cursed techniques don't exactly fit in just yet. And Gege explains that like he would like to introduce Hakari into the series, but the way how his technique works, it might not align with things, or might even cause like some uproars in the community. So we could assume that his power is very much ridiculous. Also started like having fans come up with like crazy theories that like, oh, maybe he's like so strong that he might be like on par with Gojo, and maybe that's something like Gege wasn't really trying to go for. But we really don't know until we see like the next chapter to see how powerful he is exactly, assuming that we'll see that. And that is going to be the end of this video. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Like, what are some theories you have on your own? What do you do like it about it? What you don't like it about it? If you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe, because it's free and it helps me out. And if you want to see more videos like this, then let me know in the comment section below what other characters and other abilities you want me to explain on, and I will try to get to that shortly. Now, this is Pirate the God signing off. Yarg.